Hi, this is Louis Perkins, and I'm the president of the Cradle to Cradle Products Innovation Institute. And I'm glad to be here with you all today. I wish I was there in person, but I thank you for inviting me to be one of your speakers. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about Cradle to Cradle as a design philosophy and as a way of life. I'm curious, if I was in the room, I would ask you to raise your hand if you have heard of the term Cradle to Cradle. And I imagine one or two of you at least held your hand up, hopefully more. And I'm curious to know how many of you have read the book, Cradle to Cradle, Remaking the Way We Make Things. So this is the book that launched the standard that I have the privilege of working for and operating based in San Francisco. So we're a third-party verification of products around the design philosophy of Cradle to Cradle. So let me share a little bit about what it is. Cradle to Cradle design thinking is based on abundance theory. It's based on the idea that everything becomes a nutrient for a future cycle. That ultimately we want to look at the way products are designed in a way that can be intelligent around the materials that are chosen, where they come from, how they're made, and where they're going next. So Cradle to Cradle is beyond just looking at life cycle analysis or measuring the less bad of our impact. It's really about the more good. So let's pause a minute and think a little bit about how we arrived at where we are today. So I would say the modern industrial movement began somewhere around 200 years ago. And when it began, there were so many ingenious ways in which we used the machine age and we used technology and innovation, whether it started with steam, moved into mechanics of machinery parts, ultimately into technology and how we produce the products that we make today. There's no doubt mankind has been ingenious in how we've created systems to design the products for humanity. Everything from cleaning products to packaging to personal care to apparel to electronics to books. The problem is we didn't think 200 years ago that we were going to run out of natural resources. We didn't think that we would be running out of space to throw all our trash. We didn't think that we would be creating plastic floating islands in the Pacific and Atlantic and South Indian Oceans. We didn't think about these things. We didn't look at the impact that many of our products would have, not only in the manufacturing stage, but also in the end of life, end of use. I would say that we should celebrate the technology of the past, but look to how we can leverage that innovation moving forward and thinking about smarter ways that we can capture materials and have not just a less bad impact on our planet, but ultimately a positive impact. So it's a retooling of the Industrial Revolution to become the new Industrial Revolution, to think about how we can ensure that safe materials can be perpetually cycled and products can be manufactured with renewable energy, clean water, and social fairness. So Cradle to Cradle has 5 areas that it looks at. Material health, what's in your product, knowing that it is a safe material to move forward into future cycles. And when we think about what's in our product, we also have to think about where's it going next. So material reuse is the next principle of Cradle to Cradle. What's in my product, but where's it going to go next? Is it part of a biological nutrient system, like cotton or types of paper, or maybe even personal care products, cleaning products and lotions and cosmetics that are running off of our body and through the showers and tubs into our water systems? Is this product going to end up in the biological system, and is that the intention of this product? Secondarily, if it's not ending up in the biological system, are we recapturing it to put it back into a technical nutrient system? So Cradle to Cradle also looks at what's in the product, where is the intended use, and what is the next metabolism that this product is going to end up in, and can we design in a way that puts these products back into those proper nutrient metabolisms. So then the question isn't, should we design our products using restricted substance list or banned chemical list? It's more about what's the intended use. So we also think about developing the inputs to go into what we're calling the circular economy. Cradle to Cradle is a system that verifies that the materials that are going into products can ultimately have not only high value, but can be safe products. Cradle to Cradle also looks at how that product is manufactured or made. And in many cases, we're working on projects where the product may be a yarn or a dye or a glue. So it's a material or a component or a building block going into another product. In that case, we want to look at where the material or product is being manufactured, and we want to ensure that it's being done in a positive, if not regenerative way, using renewable energy, clean water stewardship, and social fairness initiatives. When I think about the future and how we can create manufacturing facilities and products that adhere to cradle-to-cradle principles, I think about a manufacturing facility almost like a plant, like a living organism that gives back to its local nutrient systems. Just like a tree that gives back oxygen, that gives back nutrients to the soil when the leaves and fruit fall to the earth, or the birds and squirrels that are running around in the trees, when they pass away, they become nutrients in the soil for their next system. These nutrients are important, and so what if a manufacturing facility gave back cleaner water than came into it? So the local community could really look at that facility almost like a natural water filtration system, ensuring clean, available water for that local community. Imagine if a manufacturing facility produced enough energy, renewable energy from water, geothermal, air, solar. We start to look at ways in which the energy could be given back to a local grid, so that now a production facility is almost like an energy plant, and one that doesn't take natural resources and burn them, but actually looks at ways in which we generate the most renewable and replenishing resource, the sun. Secondarily, we also want to look at how people are treated within the environments in which they work. So high social standards, fair living wage, human rights, and the treatment of the workers in the facilities is very important. Imagine if a facility had policies around how women are promoted within management, how children are educated within the local community, how workers are given new skills to better themselves and earn a higher wage, where everyone is paid a living wage, if not higher. Imagine these systems in the production of products, then you would want to encourage the production and consumption on products on the earth, because everything was giving back. Everything was regenerative. That's the cradle-to-cradle thinking. So it's not just about a product that gets recycled. It's about creating a whole ecosystem of abundance. We now work with over 400 companies representing over 5,000 certified products, but that's just a drop in the bucket when you look at where we need to go next. So our organization has been working very diligently with a lot of large companies and suppliers to help carry this principle deeper into their own philosophies and into their product design and into their supply chain, so they can encourage the suppliers to manufacture products in these ways to meet the goals that we have for the world in which we all want to live. Because in the cradle-to-cradle world, as our founder Bill McDonough says, we want to create a world where we can love all the children of all the species for all time. And that is cradle to cradle. Thank you for this opportunity.